Good morning and good evening, everyone. Based on your time zone, welcome in Salesforce FXR. And my name is Amit Chaudhary. I'm the founder of the Salesforce FXR and I'm Salesforce MVP. And I'm also active blogger on amitsalesforce.blogspot.in. And today topic is the MuleSoft. So our speaker is Shruti. So let me hand over to her. Shruti.
Thank you, Amit, for the introduction. So let's look at the agenda for today. So um, firstly, we will look at the evolution of API integrations. Uh, then we will take a quick look at the Anypoint platform by MuleSoft. Then we will also explore what are the capabilities of the Anypoint platform. Then after that, we will learn what are the options and features that Anypoint platform provides for us to integrate with Salesforce. And then finally, I will demonstrate this with an example, and then we will have the Q&A. The evolution of API integrations. So we have been doing API integration using Apex since its inception. And I think even now we still continue to use Apex. But some of the concerns that arise over time is the amount of Apex that we have to write uh, and the same that needs to be maintained. You need to create custom metadata to store endpoints, fallback plans, etc. Then we need to figure out how to do the authentication. And above all, if there is a change in the API, then we have to incorporate that, and the same will involve code changes too. So it's not an easy job. And that's when Salesforce introduced external services. So if you had attended some of my previous webinars, you would know that what I'm talking about. So with external services, you can do API integrations with less code as opposed as using Apex. And you will need to write a Swagger schema for your API, then import it in Salesforce, and then Salesforce would automatically create actions that you can use in flows and processes to call your API without using any Apex. But the challenge is that since it's automated, it has its own limitations. So for example, if your API returns complex data like maybe deeply nested JSON or so, then this isn't the right choice. Similarly, assume you need to work with complex data types like blobs and so on. Then you are out of luck. That's when the acquisition happened, and Salesforce bought MuleSoft. So MuleSoft is the company, and the platform that they uh, release is called the Anytime Platform. So in simple words, it's like X to X integration. Like any product can be on either sides of any Anytime platform. So let's say you want to connect SAP and Oracle, or maybe SAP and Salesforce, etc. So um, advantage is it's highly scalable, and you can connect multiple systems together, and it's proven. So now let's take a quick look at what Anypoint platform comprises of. A quick peek at Anypoint platform. So these are the fundamental components of the Anypoint platform. You have the Anypoint Design Center, then the Anypoint Management Center, and the Anypoint Exchange on the surface. Then under the hood, we have the core platform, which makes all these integrations possible, and it is called Mule and runtime services. So let's look at each of those components in detail. So we have Anypoint Design Center, a drag and drop based designer to design your APIs, build integrations, and create connectors for like any system. Then we have Anypoint Management Center, and this is where you can actually manage all the aspects of your APIs, integrations, and the platform from like deployment to operations. You can think of it like your dashboard. Then we have the Anypoint Exchange, and this is where you can store your private assets like in a central repository, or maybe even access publicly shared resources. Now, an easy way to understand this is to think of App Exchange, and it's similar to Anypoint Exchange. So in the Anypoint Exchange, you will be able to see connectors created by others, which are like public, and also the official connectors that the MuleSoft provides. And then finally, we have the Mule and the runtime services, which forms the core. Capabilities of Anypoint platform. All right, so let's look at an example to see how Anypoint platform can be useful. So in this complex system, you can see that there are like multiple entities, like a customer facing website, a mobile app, and then some Salesforce products like the Community Cloud, Sales Cloud, and the Service Cloud. Now, you can also see that APIs have been written and created on the Anypoint platform at different levels, which includes the experience APIs, then the process APIs, and the system APIs. So in short, this is what happens. A customer creates an order either from the website or the mobile app through the process APIs, which are written in the Anypoint platform. Now, it's important to note that we haven't written separate process APIs for the web, mobile, or the Salesforce products. The experience APIs acts as an interface between the entities and the process APIs. And this is how Anypoint Platform facilitates the reuse of the core APIs used by your system. Then the process APIs creates the order by retrieving the customer data from Salesforce via the system APIs, and also performs the order fulfillment. Now, if you notice, the system APIs comprises of separate nodes for Salesforce, SAP, Gmail. So now this is because they are disparate systems, and hence has their own set of protocols. Match made in heaven, Salesforce and Anypoint Platform. So, like as I told before, the Anypoint Platform provides connectors that you can use to connect systems together. One thing out of the box that they provide is the Salesforce connector, and you can use this connector to create like updating opportunity amount in a different currency. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Shruti.
Okay.
But you're breaking a little in the middle, so now we can hear you quite clearly.
Okay. Okay, so we will look at a use case updating opportunity amount in a different currency. So in this use case, we will see how we can use the Anypoint platform to do a simple currency conversion without writing a single line of code. So when an opportunity is created or the amount is updated, it will be picked by the Anypoint platform, which then talks to the exchange rate API to get the rates per dollar. And finally, Anypoint platform does the math and updates the opportunity with the converted amount. So now let's go to our Salesforce and see how we can do this. So on the opportunity, I have created a new field called converted amount, GBP, and we need to take the amount that is, say, $2,000, and multiply it with whatever is the rate for 1 USD in GBP, and then store in this field. So now let's go to the developer console, and now how can we notify MuleSoft, when an opportunity has been created or when the amount has been updated? So the answer for this is streaming API. So in order to make that possible, we need to create a push topic in Salesforce. So on my screen, you can see that I have already created a push topic called MuleSoft OPP notifier, and there are a couple of other fields too. So the most important column here is the query column. In this, we need to tell Salesforce that which all fields on the opportunity should Salesforce monitor for changes. And you can see that I have specified the amount field. Then the other columns are easy to understand, I suppose. So that is with the push topic. Now let's go to the exchange rate API. All right. So our use case is to convert the amount in dollars to GBP. And for that, we need to use some APIs that can give us the current rate for USD in GBP. For this, I am using a free service called Exchange Rate API, and you can see that the endpoint is as simple as this. Now, let me open this endpoint in a new tab. And you can see the rates for USD in multiple other currencies. And what we are interested in is the GBP. So now let me show you Anypoint Platform. So this is the Anypoint Platform's homepage. You have the Design Center, the Management Center, and multiple other things. So let us skip others for now and focus on the Design Center, since that will help us get the job done. So now let me click the Start Designing button, and you can, so let's wait for it to load. So this can take some time. Okay, we can see that it has loaded. So you can see that I have already created a project, and it is named as Opportunity Amount Conversion. Now let me open it. So let's wait till it has loaded completely. So what are you seeing now is a drag and drop based canvas that the Anypoint platform provides um, to design your integrations, or they call it flows. Now I've already have a flow which is called USD to GBP. Now let us look at it part by part. So first thing first, the first thing that you see is this Salesforce connector, and let me open that, and you can see that I have used subscribe topic as the action, and in addition to that, I have also supplied the push topic name, which is called the MuleSoft op notifier. That's my push topic. So now I know you all might be wondering, like where we provided our Salesforce org details. So now let me click edit. So these are the org details. All right. Now let me finally click the edit and show you the credentials that I have supplied for the Salesforce org. And these are my username and password. All right. So that is it with the first part. The next one is a set variable component. So what I have done here is very simple. I created a variable called ID, and the value will be the ID of the opportunity record that I will receive from Salesforce when someone updates the amount or creates an opportunity. And you can notice how I have written the value, that is payload.id. Then the next one is again another set variable component, and I I have created a variable called amount, and the value will be the amount of the opportunity record that I will receive from Salesforce when someone updates the amount or maybe creates a new opportunity. You can notice how I have written the value here, and it is payload.amount. So next, let's look at the next component, and the next component is the interesting one, and it is called HTTP request component. So all I have specified here is the method, which is nothing but a get, and the endpoint of the exchange rate API. That's it. This is the exchange rate API endpoint, and that's what I have specified here in the URL. So that's it with the HTTP request component. And then the next one, that is now our second last component, is again a set variable where I am storing the rate for 1 USD in GBP, and it is stored as payload.rates.gbp, because we have the rates here and we want the GBP value. That's why I have specified like payloads.rates.gbp. All right, so finally we have our last component, and the last component is again a Salesforce connector, and In this, we specify the action type as update single, which means update a single record in Salesforce. And the two fields are the ID and the converted amount. Let me show you what is the converted amount, and it is nothing but the product of the variables amount and the rate. So yeah, that's it. That's it with the flow. So next, let me click the run button. For that, let's wait. This will take a bit to start. And yes, we can see a green tick, but we still have to wait. So yeah, it is ready now. It's up and running. So let me now update amount on the opportunity and see if the converted amount is being calculated or not. So let me make the amount as 1000 and hit save. And now let me just refresh the page. So there you go, the equivalent of 1000 USD in GBP. So that was super quick. So now let me go back to my presentation here. So that's it with the use case. And so we saw like how we can use the Anypoint platform to do a simple currency conversion without like writing even a single line of code. So we saw that when opportunity was updated, it picked up by the Anypoint platform, which then talked to the exchange rate API to get the rates per dollar. And finally, all the math was done by the Anypoint platform, and finally updates the opportunity with the converted amount. So finally, we have like come to the end of the presentation. So over to you, Amit.
Thank you so much, Shruti. So, guys, if you have any question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question directly to Shruti. And Shruti, I can see a couple of questions is posted.
Hi Shruti.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hi Shruti, Amit. I'm Anupma this side. So basically, I'm new for the MuleSoft and integration with the Salesforce basically. So my question is like, is MuleSoft is working here as a middleware? So where we can use any sort of integration with the help of MuleSoft, is it?
Yes, exactly. You are right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, my name is Sunij. I have a couple of questions here. Like, you guys are giving some training on MuleSoft, or?
I'm sorry, Sunil, I didn't get your question exactly.
Yeah, you guys are giving some kind of training for MuleSoft, or?
No, this is just a webinar.
Okay, now in your demo, right? You were clicking the that currency conversion service, right, manually. In a real scenario, how we configure that automated?
I didn't get you. Could you please repeat it?
Yeah, in your demo, you were showing that you click that MuleSoft, calling that currency conversion web services, right, manually, right?
Yes.
In a real scenario, how we can automate that? What is the way of doing those kind of automation?
In the real scenario, like automating it. So
Yeah.
now there was not manual process actually.
Uh-huh.
You could see that I had gone to the opportunity and then I had like updated the amount uh, on the opportunity.
Okay. That time MuleSoft
And
was triggering that call or backend currency conversion.
yes, and the GBP was like automatically calculated. Yes.
Okay. No, I joined a little bit late. That's why I'm asking all these questions. So.
So,
Okay.
Don't worry.
So what I demoed.
Yeah, I was seeing only last screen only, so I
Okay.
late. I joined a little bit late.
Yeah.
And I have another question. Like nowadays, MuleSoft is into limelight, right? What are the benefit for MuleSoft apart from other middleware? Like
What are the?
we have a Dell Boomi and IBM Castan, and there are many middleware, right? What is the benefit to this Anypoint platform give to user?
So it's scalability mainly. Then like you have like a lot of connectors, and other thing is like mainly it supports multiple systems like the SAP, Oracle. You can like do transformations of data on the fly. Like
But yeah, if you take a Dell Boomi also, it will do the same thing, right? That also a lot of connectors. And
yes, true.
but
It is more or less the same. Like there is tight interaction to Salesforce, and you can like build the APIs and all.
So, Shruti, if I understand the architecture here in the use case, like what you did was you updated an opportunity, I was wondering like that push topic will be listening to the change, and it will be how it will be connecting to the anytime platform, because it's like you gave the Salesforce credentials in the MuleSoft, right? So how does so the anytime platform will always be listening to that push topic?
Yes. So Anypoint platform subscribes to the push topic.
And if you just give that name in your configuration there, which push topic the Anypoint platform should subscribe to, that should be enough. So we don't need any other kind of configuration in MuleSoft or MuleSoft.
Yes, correct. Very correct.
Okay,
Yeah, hi
thanks.
Shruti, this is Dev here. I have a couple of questions. The first thing, does MuleSoft support platform events?
Yes, they do support platform events.
Okay, and what about the like batch processing? It's like, does it support the batch processing? For example, if we want to update a lot of data all together at once, and and does it support the batch data?
Yes, it does support. So let me just show you that. So here's a component. Let me create a new component called Salesforce connector, and so here you can see like update multiple with
Okay.
multiple bulk.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And the last question I have is like, can the jobs on MuleSoft can be scheduled? It's like, for example, if a weekly or a nightly job can be scheduled over here, where data can be pulled from somewhere to and sent to Salesforce, or vice versa. Vice versa.
Yes, I think we can do that too, but
Okay.
not in a free version though.
Okay.
What
Okay.
I am using is developer edition,
Okay.
like what we have in Salesforce, the
Okay.
free edition of.
Yeah, and also I came just now. A question hit me. It's like, I'm pretty much sure MuleSoft will be having the capability for that. We can have our own custom APIs built and hosted on MuleSoft, so that if there is any customization needed. So, is there a does MuleSoft has a capability of like always running as a a service, always running and waiting for an input, and it's like the moment it comes in, it just process everything and spits back the output? Is this is it capable of doing that?
Absolutely. So MuleSoft does provide an option to write APIs too.
Mm-hmm.
So what I showed is just an integration between two systems.
Mm-hmm.
But like as you said, you can create APIs, and in fact, that is what I showed in the PPT, the capabilities of the platform.
And it can work as a hosting place where the API will just sit and can just wait and listen for the input, and the moment the input comes in, the output is delivered. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
So Shruti, is it a one-to-one connection between Salesforce and the Anytime platform, or can multiple Salesforce have uh, one Anytime platform?
Yes, you can. Like you can connect multiple instances here. What I demoed
Okay.
was a point-to-point, but yes, you can connect multiple instances also.
Hi, Shruti. My name is Raja, and I'm joining the presentation today from Northern Virginia. So I have a couple of questions, actually. So thank you for that wonderful presentation in the first place. It is pretty informative. So one thing that I noticed in the example that you demoed, say, let's assume like in case if the GBP rate is not there, right? So what error handling capabilities does MuleSoft provide? I mean, obviously when it comes to integration, I mean, things don't go smooth always, right? So is there some sort of an error handling um, code, or code basically that can be executed, if the call doesn't go through, or like if GBP rate is not available in this instance?
Oh yes, we can actually have components where we can like build decisions and add logic, like do maybe send an email and so for the sake of simplicity, I did a very simple one.
Understood. Yeah. So that would basically involve specific, say, I mean, you'd have, blocks basically dragged onto the design platforms to where you would actually say, hey, if the response is, I don't know, like, 404 or like, something 200, then do this part, that kind of thing. Like, is that what you're talking about, basically?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have a lot of fallback options. There's quite a bit that Anypoint platform offers, like pretty solid ones.
Okay. Okay. And my other question is, you mentioned about the developer edition. I mean, obviously, I assume that's actually free for anyone to sign up.
I'm sorry.
No, you said you actually using the developer edition, which is kind of limited in
Yes.
capability. But I assume
Yes.
that
Yes.
is okay. Okay. So
Yes, it's
what?
absolutely free.
Okay. So what resources, would you recommend for more in-depth hands-on learning? I assume there is some sort of a trailhead module, or is there some other resource that you would recommend for, a more deep dive into this?
Mm, yes, we do have trailhead modules for this. Like if you look into trailhead, there are like a lot of trails that you can go through and learn. In fact, my resource of learning was indeed trailhead. Also, MuleSoft has pretty good docs too.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Good to know. Yep. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay. So thank you, Shruti, for a great session, and thank you everyone for the joining us. And